new spas, major manufacturers differentiating themselves from the competition, and plain old storytelling. I'd like to talk to you about new spas, including some of the spas on my floor, so I'm not picking on anybody else, and some of the differentiation that goes on in our industry and what I call storytelling. And it's, for example, when a manufacturer will teach a dealer like myself why, for example, their filtration system is superior to every other filtration system in the market. Now, obviously, I'm not going to mention names of the filtration system, so we'll just call it the Super Duper filtration system. So we'll take a presentation from a manufacturer that goes through a process of teaching us how the water goes through the pipes, through some sort of special process, ultimately through a paper filter so that you get clean water in your spa. We'll call that the Super Duper filtration system. You'll have a customer come into the store and say, do you have that Super Duper filtration system that I heard at down the street at Brand A Spa store? Do you have that? Because I really want to make sure that my spa water's clean. And of course, I kind of laugh a little bit. I'll show you around, show you all the different manufacturer spas I have in here, which I actually have 21 spas wet on display here, none of which will have the Brand A's version of the Super Duper filtration system, all of which are clean all the time. Ultimately, the manufacturers at this point have all figured out how to filter water. It's fairly simple. You're bringing in what I'm going to call the dirty water, even though it never really gets that dirty, and running through some pipes, possibly through an ozone system, and ultimately through a paper filter where contaminants get caught in the filter. And on your maintenance cycle, you'll pull the filter out, hose it off. Yet we tend to get caught up, and I want to dispel these types of myths where you kind of get brainwashed, if you will, that if you don't have that Super Duper filtration system that does special things, that somehow you're going to be sitting in dirty water. And I'm here to tell you that it's not true. You're safe, and every manufacturer I've seen on the market today knows how to filter water. So rest assured that you don't have to buy a certain brand to get clean water. You're going to get clean water in all brands. Horsepower. A lot of manufacturers will rest their hats on how much horsepower you get with how many jets in the spa. It doesn't really matter how much horsepower that you have. What matters is that the horsepower is correct for the type of jets and the jet count, which you can tell by the easiest way, not by me telling you, not by anybody telling you, not by doing research, but by putting in your hand into the water, into the spa of that brand, which is running, and feel it, or put your whole arm in, or better yet, put your bathing suit on and go for a swim and make sure that there's enough horsepower to propel the jet to where it feels good. More horsepower doesn't mean better spa. The truth is, most manufacturers have what's good, better, and best spas. Good spas are generally the ones that you hear advertised about. You know, 35 jet spa for $39.99, you know, that sort of thing. It's a good spa to bring you in, and a lot of good spas are sold, and for good reason, they're good spas. Then you've got better spas, which is a step up from there. Better jets, better equipment, just often better looking spa. And then you have the best spa, the best category, which is your high-end spas, where you get just the ultimate. You get essentially the best of the best spas in each brand. Now with the storytelling, a lot of times the manufacturers are comparing their best spa to the competition's good spa. So you just want to be aware that when you're shopping for a spa, that you go good, better, best, get the price comparisons equal, and then when you make that comparison, make sure, for example, if you're in my store and you're looking at $8,000 Bullfrog, you don't want to compare that apples to apples to a $5,000 Coleman, because chances are the Bullfrog is going to have more stuff on it and charge you more. So you want to make sure to go apples to apples with the Coleman spa in the same price range so that you're more apt to get a really fair comparison. That way the storytelling's all even and you've done your research and you can better select the right spa for you. Part of the reason for me discussing this topic about storytelling and some of the fun things that the manufacturers teach us to do and how to differentiate their spa from the competition is not that there's not truth to it. All the manufacturers that I have here on the floor and some at my competitors are all great spas. My point about talking about it isn't to do anything but make you aware that there's a lot of great spas, or we'll call them best, and there's a lot of really good spas, and there is a lot of better spas. So point being, I just like to continue to dispel the myth that there's a best spa or a top 3 or 4 brands of spas on the market, and that everything else you're not getting a good hot tub, when in fact there are a lot of good spas on the market today. Just shop good, better, best, be aware of it, do all your research, and best of all, listen to yourself as opposed to just the research you're doing online or through friends and so on and so forth.